Hello, Legacy enjoyers. I've got a fun one for you tonight in the October 12th Legacy Challenge. I'm going to be playing Ninjas, which is not really a deck that is fairly popular right now, for the most part because the fair mid-range piles are just frog piles. But I'm actually not even playing frog tonight because Ingenious Infiltrator and Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, are kind of frogs of their own. Instead, I'm playing the other good 2-drops in black, which are Baleful Strix and Orcish Bowmasters. Last week, I kind of talked about how Psychic Frog, Baleful Strix, and Orcish Bowmasters kind of form a rock, paper, scissors with each other, where like Strix is strong against Frog and so on and so forth. But the thought that I had with this deck is that with all the Modern Horizons prints of like Tamiyo and Lord of the Rings is an honorary Modern Horizons set, let's be real, we can basically have a good creature base that isn't, Ornithopter and Retrofitter Foundry, this guy, which is what the old Ninjas decks were based around, these things. Now, instead, I get to play stuff like Strix and Tamiyo. I'm still playing Changeling Outcast because it's a ninja. The idea here is that we're just filling it with good cards instead of bad ones. And then the ninja is like, this, like, even without ninjas, plays like a fine, fair mid-range game. And then once you get the ninjas, you can, like, return Baleful Strix, return Bowmasters, get their ETBs again, go ham. So Yuriko and Ingenious Infiltrator are the ninjas. I'm playing 3 and 2 of those. I'm also playing 2 Kaito Bane of Nightmares from the new Duskborn set, which is also a ninja. It has ninjutsu for 3 mana. So in some ways, if you have an unblocked attacker, it's a 3 mana uncounterable planeswalker. When it's your turn, it's a 3/4 with hexproof. And then it has 3 abilities. The first one is an emblem that pumps your ninjas. You generally don't use that one too much. The 0 is a surveil 2 and then essentially draw a card because you're not going to use it if you haven't caused your opponent to lose life. So it's like a Yorion with surveil instead of scry. And then the -2 you use a ton, where you basically tap a creature and put 2 stun counters on that creature, so it stays tapped for 2 extra turns. And this is really good tempo. It will knock out whatever threat you need so that your ninjas can push through and win the game. I've been surprisingly impressed with this deck. I've played it in 2 leagues and I've got a pair of 4/1s in it. No trophy, unfortunately, but hopefully tonight we can put up a good showing. And let's, I guess we'll jump over the sideboard before we start round 1. But kind of a fairly standard-ish hodgepodge of blue-black sideboard cards. I've got Consigned to Memory and Harbinger of the Seas for Eldrazi. Consigned to Memory also is for the Mystic Forge deck, where you see the Null Rod as well. Ghost Vacuum for the graveyard decks. Long Goodbye, essentially any deck that plays Tamiyo, I'm going to want Long Goodbye so I can easily kill a flipped one. Hydroblast, just 1. It's kind of just out of respect to the mono red decks and Painter. Shoulder's Edict as a way to also get people to sacrifice planeswalkers. Thoughtseize for the combo decks and, control anywhere I need that. Shoulder's Edict anywhere, there's a Merit Lage or big creatures I need to remove also comes in. Null Rod was also going to come in against, like the Storm combo decks. All in all, it's fairly straightforward. The mana base is a bit different than old Ninjas decks as well, where they're playing like a single Underground Sea and a full set of Prismatic Vistas. I am still playing a bunch of basics. I'm playing 5 basics, and it says 17 lands. I am playing 18 with a Sink into Stupor as a kind of a split card between a Brazen Borrower and a land. But the point being is that the mana is pretty stable, but in the non-wasteland matchups, or if I'm like light on lands, I will actually want to be fetching Underground Seas with this deck. And so this is a way to respect that. Anyway, yeah, this deck is sweet, and I hope I can put up a good showing tonight. See you for round 1. Okay, hello, we're actually in round 2 of the challenge. Round 1 did not record correctly, but I got ranched by a really strong Eldrazi draw, so not that exciting anyway, didn't miss much. This hand looks solid. We're against Ryan Wu, who's actually, I think, in my last video, the last opponent I faced in the top 8 of my most recent video. Of course, now we're facing off in the 0-1 bracket. That's how things go sometimes. I gotta take the swings. Anyway, we're on the play, which is nice. Got a Tamiyo, which I'm going to turn 1. Changeling Outcast. will be solid once we get some ninjas going. Bowmaster, of course, is quite good. Last time I played against Ryan Wu, he was on the same deck that I played last week, which is the Fnatic mid-range deck with like 4 Fanatics and like Street Wraith to leverage them in addition to Troll, stuff like that. It's a pretty cool deck. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend checking out. It does look like he's on the same deck, given this Street Wraith and Wasteland thing. It means that he's probably Troll cycling in his own end step, which would mean that he'd be able to Fnatic if he miracles one in a couple turns. Okay, so we're untapping, drawing something good, I hope. Baleful Strix would be real nice. Something like that. Obviously a ninja would be fantastic. Specifically Infiltrator or Yuriko, I suppose. There she is. All right, so now we get to Ninjutsu Yuriko. So get out of here, Tamiyo. It's Yuriko time. So Yuriko is in. Opponent will be taking at least 1 damage, and then damage off of whatever the CMC is of the card I flip. 2 more. Bowmaster. Very cool. So now I've got opponent at 15, and we'll see what they're doing. Yeah, Troll cycling, which is expected. Probably now that I've shown ninjas, they're not worried about Wasteland. So yeah, Underground Sea is the card that they get with the Troll. And we should be in pretty good shape overall anyway. Because, yeah, this is not the turn that they'd be able to miracle a Fnatic, unless they like blind miracle it with a blind cycle of Troll in the attacker step, in my attacker step. In which case, like, if they get me like that, they get me. You know? Anyway, they're thinking about passing, it looks like. So they've passed the turn. One thing to note is that Yuriko does not technically draw cards, although Ingenious Infiltrator does, as far as like flipping a Tamiyo is concerned. Let's see here, what do we draw for turn? Another Changeling Outcast. So if I could play like Tamiyo and 2 Outcasts this turn, that would be pretty wild for the board, because the Outcasts are going to also have Tamiyo or have Yuriko triggers. See, I'm attacking with this because I don't see why not. Yeah, she's coming through, deals at least 1 damage. Oh, Petty Theft back to hand. Okay, so that's fine. So let's go Tamiyo, and then I'm going to do Changeling. I'm going to do it in this order because I'd much rather get a Changeling dazed than get Tamiyo dazed. Although getting anything dazed right now would be totally fine, I think. I'm going to continue getting basics given my opponent's in-play Wasteland. Looks like nothing got dazed, so that's really good for this whole Yuriko thing. Because if I can ninjutsu the Tamiyo, then these each draw and deal a ton of cards and do a bunch of damage. Opponent's now pondering because they realize that they're in quite a bit of trouble. I connect them drawing 3 cards at the minimum and making a clue, so I guess 4 cards up on a single attack step. So that's big. So opponent chose not to shuffle, which is pretty impressive given how much trouble they're in. Because that means they think they have a way through this. And I'm not that convinced they do. Like, even a reanimate doesn't do it at all. These things are unblockable. They also can't block, but they can't be blocked. Also, it's worth... these are orc armies. Because they're all creature types, they're orcs and armies. So playing a Bowmaster will actually grow a Changeling. It will not create a separate token. Fun fact. But it means that with these in play, I can't like create a orc army token and expect to block either. So I guess the axe cuts both ways, or whatever the idiom is. Speaking of cuts, there's a murderous cut. So I will attack with all these. And then once Tamiyo is not blocked, I will ninjutsu her out, put in the Yuriko, and we're dealing some untold amount of damage. 1, 2. Ooh, a Force of Will flip for big hits there. So that was sufficient for my opponent to concede because also they can't beat a force. So cool. Looks like opponent is on the Fnatic deck, and we've got a pile of value creatures here, which I think line up quite well into stuff like Fnatic. Sheoldred's Edict is fine. Ghost Vacuum is quite good here. I think I don't really want the Dazes, and I could see cutting up to all the forces. So it's bringing Edicts. I think that this is a good 59 card deck at this point. Like, this is what I want to play if I could play 59. So then becomes Long Goodbye for like Frog specifically, or 1 Force of Will for whatever. I think I'm going to play the 1 Force of Will because I'm on the draw since I won the first game. All right, I'll keep this. It's got 2 basics basically. Prismatic Vista being basic number 1, Delta being basic number 2. So either one of these can get Island Swamp. So that's quite convenient. This is not looking like a hand that plays around Days for what it's worth. It's looking like a hand that plays right into it, assuming that they present threats. If they're not presenting threats, I will wait. Okay, so now they're thought seizing me, and from what they take, I'll be able to learn a lot about their hand. Now, if they take Bowmaster, which seems like the most likely pick, I think I just play a Prismatic Vista and pass. Yeah, so I took Bowmaster. Means that just they have nothing surprising about that, you know? They did an atypical pick. I might have had something more to learn. So now as it stands, I'm going to play the Vista first because it's a bit more restrictive than the Delta. This can only fetch my basics, and this can fetch anything. And so since I know, at least my plan right now is to fetch a basic island, or basic swamp with this, I want to have it in play first before I play out the Delta. All right, now it's my opponent's turn. And what does he do? Ponders. Maybe a Landlight draw or a Cantrip Heavy draw, extra motivated taking the Bowmaster. But we know it has some number of threats, because if it didn't have cantrips and had a ton of threats, it would have taken Fatal Push over Bowmaster. Chose to not shuffle, draw with Ponder, play land, and I guess I'll pass the turn back, or pass the turn back to myself. Not going to do an end-step Brainstorm. Now I think I can afford to play around Days, given the game has gone slow enough. And gone slow enough, I mean that I was AFK for 5 minutes at the start of the match, and we are now equal on time. I've taken about 1.5 minutes, and my opponent's taken about 6.5 minutes, which is fine. Now we're equal on clock, and everyone gets their chess clocks to use as they wish, but even still, it's quite a bit of a delay. So I'm going to fetch a basic island now, and I'm going to Brainstorm, I think, because I can't get Bowmastered. Okay, so changing Outcast is a pretty cool draw. I think I don't need this land, and I don't need... one of the Fatal Pushes. So I don't need Swamp, and I don't need one of the Fatal Pushes. Then I can fetch a basic Swamp here. And Underground Sea can be whatever land I need it to be. So we'll see if Outcast gets Dazed. It does not. It was, of the spells I have, definitely the one I was most willing to let get Dazed. So now, one thing is my opponent knows I have the Infiltrators. So yeah, they're playing a Bowmaster out ahead of time, kill the Outcast outright. And then I'm going to push and Ponder, probably. Depends on what I draw. The Edict is fine, so yeah, it's Fatal Push. Still play out the land. Kill the Bowmaster. Ponder. This is nice. I will actually keep it and then brainstorm now while my opponent can't play another Bowmaster. This might get dazed. And if it does, that's not a huge deal because I have a Bowmaster on top of my library, which I can play off this Island Swamp. It's like opponent's thinking about what to do. Or they're just AFK. Okay, Brainstorm has resolved, and I'm going to put Bowmaster on top of my deck. I think I'm going to put Shoulder's Edict below it. Just want it to be as Thoughtseize proof as possible. Yeah. And this way my hand is like, it's very redundant. And if my opponent wastelands me, that's fine. If they don't, that's also fine. There's Swamp Cycling. And for literal swamp, they've found basic swamp. They've played it. This probably means that I'm getting wastelanded. They're pondering first so that they have the full info before they use the wasteland, which makes sense. And then army will crash in for 1. Okay. The army has got me. So if I make it to my main phase, which I did, so I'm going to do, I want to play Bowmasters around days, and I want to play Ghost Vacuum also. So because of that, I think I'm going to play Bowmasters first here, holding up this land. And then I can play Ghost Vacuum also in my main phase. So I'm not like delaying that. So, oh, they have a Fanatic on top of their deck, huh? I did this in the wrong order. No, they would have done this in response to Ghost Vacuum. But yeah, I could have then responded to that with the Bowmaster. Unfortunately, this is going to be a doozy. Because I assume this is going to be Troll coming back in. Yep. And I will at least deal 1 to the Orc army. Play the Ghost Vacuum right on time. Maybe, I mean, I could have changed the order of that. That's my fault that it's not on time. But either way, I now have that. I do have a Sheoldred's Edict on top of my library, which at worst will be able to kill the Fanatic. But is not likely to do all the good it needs to. Yeah, I mean, just blocking here, so I can have as much damage as I can. This has Ultra Menace, so I can't really do too much about that. And then opponent plays a Frog. I'll Ghost Vacuum the Bowmaster, I guess. Yeah, and then I'll have them sack a creature. Oh, they're going to Needle Bowmaster, or Needle Ghost Vacuum, or will they Needle Infiltrator? Interesting choice. I'm dead either way. Ghost Vacuum though. Okay. Okay, so let's have them sack a creature. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. And then, depending upon what they sacrifice. Okay, so I cannot attack anymore. I'm dead. I'm just gonna skip this one up. Good to know they have Pithy Needle. Although I don't think it changes anything about how I sideboard. This 1 Force of Will, though, I think can get replaced by a Daze because I'm on the play. Yeah, I like that. Let's run it back. And while I've got you, I don't usually do this, but if you're enjoying these videos, please do like and subscribe to my channel. It helps as far as like getting promotion via the algorithm and stuff like that. And I am trying to grow a little bit as a creator. This hand looks great. It's got turn 1 Tamiyo, turn 2 Baleful Strix. Yeah, solid mana, good card selection. It's a perfectly normal blue-black tempo hand. No ninjas necessary. So yeah, turn 1 Tamiyo there. And I'm doing this because I can fetch a basic swamp with this delta. And then I can still have like fetch lands and stuff for turning on Fatal Push or Brainstorm or whatever I need it for. So I will play out this Delta. I'll attack. I'm actually maybe going to fetch Underground Sea because my hand is so land heavy and I kind of want to get wastelanded here. Given that I should have led on Flooded Strand, not Polluted Delta, because this one can only get UC, this one can get anything. But since I'd already made the mistake, there's no reason to compound the mistake. Like, still, I should still play the right way from what I had, and not like, oh, because I played Delta, I'm not going to go then get UC and stuff like that. Opponent put Street Wraith into the yard, which is a shortcut. No life paid. But still the same. So Bowmasters coming in to kill the Baleful Strix, not a surprise. And now I will be able to Fatal Push, Ponder, and then something. So let's start with the Fatal Push on the Bowmaster. And then I'll Ponder. Children's Edict is a good one. No shuffle. I'll play this off of another Underground Sea. And if this gets dazed, they can't miracle a Fnatic. If this doesn't get dazed, then this does prevent the scariest parts of Fnatic. So pretty happy with this vacuum. In a vacuum, of course. In the context of this game too. But it does get dazed. Not too concerned there. They return the island, which means they probably want to cast a 2-drop. I'll trade a clue token for 1 damage from this Orc army. Yes, the island is back down. They're playing a 2-drop. They got Psychic Frog. And the army is coming in. Okay. Changing Outcast. So yeah, I'll play a land. I'll attack with Tamiyo. And if they do like a frog block and double pump, then I'll be able to Edict the frog. So they probably don't want to do that. But it looks like they're going to. You're going to block the Tamiyo and discard 2 cards. No, just block it. They prevented 0 damage. Very cool. Okay. So in that case, I will Edict, have them sacrifice a non-token creature. And then I will draw a card. And I'm doing it this way to play around days. Draw another land, which is not quite what I want, but I do have a bunch of clues banked up, which is a good way to sink my mana. So that's pretty cool. Brainstorm for my opponent while I'm tapped out and can't Bowmaster. Because even though I don't have a Bowmaster, they don't know that. Opponent has finished their Brainstorm. Are they attacking for 1? They are. Okay. Off to the races. Let's see. So depending on what opponent does, I might just double crack Clue to flip Tamiyo. That might mean I also play a Changing Outcast as a spell for turn. So if I'm doing that and cracking for 4 mana to flip Tamiyo, I should probably play the Outcast first so that I don't walk into daze. Opponent's fetching and brainstorming again makes me think they're really looking for Fatal Push or trying to set up a Fnatic. The brainstorm has been completed and it is my turn. Daze is quite nice. Let's attack first, and then I'll crack a Clue. Now that I've drawn the daze, I think I'd rather just I guess I'll play out the Vista. I can crack a Clue. And then I can crack another clue, and this will flip the Tamiyo. Okay, and I drew a Brainstorm, which was also flipped the Tamiyo, plus the Tamiyo. And I will play a Changing Outcast. Basic Swamp. Because the Vista can only get basics, and I wanted black. Okay, so on my turn, at minimum, I could minus. They are into Pact Fanaticing, by the way. They set it up just the way they wanted. So yeah, I could -3 and get back like Fatal Push if I wanted to, or Shieldred's Edict if I like Brainstorm into a Fatal Push, and I could get rid of both those things. Oh, they got gross. So they got the Bowmaster, which is a pain for my Tamiyo, which means that they're going to attack extra 2 damage or an extra 1 damage at the Tamiyo, which puts it to 3, meaning that a -3 now kills the Tamiyo. It's a lot more sad, but I think I still have to do it so I can get this off the table before I Brainstorm. So -3, I'll return a Fatal Push so I can kill the Bowmaster. And then I will Fatal Push, kill Bowmaster. I will Brainstorm. This is another Bowmaster. I'm able to daze it, so that's pretty nice. Okay. That's very fortunate for me. Also fortunate as all these things. So I think I can put back like Infiltrator and then Island on top. Because I'm able to make a land drop and I can get rid of the island. Do I even want, maybe even want the island? So yeah, let's go Sewers and then we'll do Infiltrator on top. Or sorry, Infiltrator and then Sewers on top, because with this Strix, I will be drawing the top card. So yeah, we'll put Sewers on top. We'll go Strix. Then I'll play a Tamiyo, then I'll play an Outcast. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Got 2 ninjas coming in next turn if I need to. No second Fanatic is also very nice. I think this list doesn't usually play more than 3 Bowmasters. Emperor of Bones is scary. Okay. That's yikes. Okay, so I was talking about 2 drops I need to be afraid of with this Bowmaster. I got 2 of them here. But now it's looking like I've got more to be afraid of, like a Troll of Khazad-dûm that could crunch in for a bunch of damage. Now this turn they can't do it. Or no, they can now. They can adapt with the Emperor of Bones. Which is, yeah, it's a big hit whack for 6 damage, and it's probably what they're going to do here. So on start combat, they trigger the Emperor of Bones, exile. Oh, they're doing it on a Bowmaster so they can kill my Strix. That's rude. Even ruder, to be honest. I was hoping it was just the troll in retrospect. Yeah, now this Bowmaster can kill the Strix. And then it can also attack with 3/3 and the 4/4. And the 1/1. Yeah, I guess I'll block the 1/1 at this point. I need to keep this alive for ninjutsu reasons. So I'll take 7 damage here. The Bowmaster is at least gone. So reminder, Changeling Outcast can't block and can't be blocked. So we'll attack both these. Tamiyo makes a clue. And I will return the Tamiyo. And I will return the Outcast. So now my opponent takes 5 damage. I draw 2 cards. I think I play a If I play a fetch land, then I die to a removal spell. If I don't play a fetch land, I don't die to a removal spell. Yeah, because I go to 1. That seems worth it. -2, I'll tap the lifelinker. And then I'll play a Sewers to try to set up my next draws. Tamiyo is not what I want. So now my opponent's able to kill the Kaito and bones me for 4 or whatever they want to do, but at least I feel like I'm somehow in a better spot than I was, even if I'm at a potential 1 life here. It's Ponder Shuffled, Brainstorming. They're digging for, I guess, a Fanatic so they can Bowmaster me for the last point of damage. Something like that. If they hit me for 7, if they kill the Kaito, then that's probably not their plan. They could just kill the Kaito and leave Emperor Bones back to block on this Infiltrator. There's lots of ways they could set up their turn. Okay, Wasteland for turn. Emperor Bones triggers. It doesn't really do much right now. Taking a Baleful Strix out of my yard, but really just for show. Where do these guys go? That's the question. This goes, okay, at Kaito, and this is back to block. Okay, so this is the most conservative play. It means that they just think they can beat my board, and they're not too worried beyond that. Fatal Push, that's kind of perfect. So it's Fatal, or I guess I'll start with a Ponder, because then I can Fatal Push a Bowmaster if I have to. Found an Edict, that's nice. Okay, so I'll keep all this. 1, 2, 3, no shuffle. Okay, so I'll play out Fatal Push on the Emperor Bones. Then I'll Tamiyo. And then if I connect with Infiltrator here, Tamiyo will flip. Looks like I do, and I'll draw a Ponder. Okay, so first thing, I'll plus the Tamiyo. Then I'll Ponder. Brazen Borrower is fantastic as well. It will be able to bounce this Orc army cleanly. And I think that given that this is still tapped this turn, that will be what I want to do. But let's see what the end step looks like. Okay, so on the upkeep, I will, I think, Petty Theft this Orc army. They could technically get me with a Wasteland Daze here. I should have fetched first. So they Wasteland my land, I have to fetch, and then as soon as I do crack the fetch, they can Daze this. Looks like that's not what happened, but that was a mistake on my end. A couple years ago, Javier Dominguez and Canister were playing in the finals of the Legacy Mox, and the actual final win came down to that play, that exact play. So that was really cool and surprising. Okay, so I'm going to just fetch now. I do have this, I believe, locked up because I can double Shield's Edict on my turn due to this Tamiyo. So yeah, let's, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. And then I'll -3 and do it again. And then this should really just cinch up the game. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. And then I attack. Deal 1. I think I'd rather keep it as an Infiltrator, not the Yuriko. And I will brainstorm while my opponent can't Bowmaster me, just so that I know what I'm setting up. I actually like Baleful Strix quite a lot, and I'll put Sink into Stupor as well. I'll protect that one because I think that's my most important spell, because my opponent might just be putting something nasty into play that I'll need to get rid of. Strix resolves, so my opponent confirmed does not have days. 3 mana coming down. Toxic Deluge, X equals 3, okay. I'm really glad I put the Strix then, because that's card neutral. And then Sink into Super is fine. Let's play another Infiltrator. Then I'll play an Outcast. And then on end step I can activate Tamiyo, or activate a clue token to draw a card. So that's pretty good. At this point, I don't think my opponent has the Bowmaster. But let's find out. If I get Bowmastered here, I do. I don't. Great. Okay, so I have a Bowmaster. So this will actually pump my Changeling Outcast, like I mentioned, if I have it in play. But what I will do here is I will Ninjutsu in a Yuriko. Petty Theft on Tamiyo, yep. Now, neither of these fly, so that's not really a problem. Yeah, they're casting it. It still doesn't fly and doesn't matter. So now I get this Changeling Outcast out of here, put in the Yuriko, and I will blind draw twice before I flip, so that if I need to set up a way to brainstorm, I can deal like lethal damage, because I can just like put these big things on top. Opponent didn't want to see what I was drawing, but 1, 2, Fatal Push. Then damage was 5, yep, and 4. So I actually would have dealt lethal. But yeah, that was a fun match. We're 1-1 now. I'll see you all for round 3. All right, we're here for round 3. We're against Ayukawa, who has been seen playing Eldrazi. They're mulliganing to 6. This is a solid hand. It's got Ponder Fatal Push for Eldrazi things, provided we don't get Chalice, but let's find out. Devourer of Destiny has a Wasteland, Blast Zone, and a Kozilek's Command. Maybe that means we got another Kozilek's Command or something in there. Changing Outcast is pretty great, because that means that I can Ninjutsu in a Yuriko as early as turn 2. Or I can just like play a Baleful Strix and then like double Yuriko on turn 3, or whatever it is. I might keep the Changeling Outcast in play so that I don't get don't get chaliced out of being able to cast it. But it looks like my opponent's not steering my hand and will be able to make some decisions on my behalf. They got rid of the Yuriko, which means that far more likely now is that I just thought not, like Fatal Push the Thought Not Seer here. We'll fetch and Ponder first, because I have to turn on Revolt for this Fatal Push. So Ponder first. Triple Tamiyo, no thanks. Basic Island seems great though. And then I draw a card with this Fatal Push, killing the Thought Knot. Drew a Force, which I'm quite happy to see. And Changeling Outcast is in. Okay, so Yuriko is gone, so I can't Ninja, but not a huge deal right now. What's the opponent going to do? Flesh Raker is one of their scarier draws. I don't particularly want them to have it, so forcing that one. It doesn't really do too much combat stuff. Okay, so Thought Not Seer unfortunately will resolve and take the Strix. I was hoping to have Strix to win combat. That is not the case anymore. Drawing a ninja would be fantastic here because you could changeling outcast. Okay, so I will probably attack with the outcast here. And then I'm just going to treat this as a actual race because this is an orc army. And so I may as well just deal extra damage. So I'll put my opponent to 16. Silly little 2/2 orc army shapeshifter here. And as soon as I draw a fetch or anything else, this Fatal Push can kill the Thought Knot. Or if nothing else, I can just block next turn, then Fatal Push it. Ancient Tomb. What's happening? Devourer. Oh, it's the Devourer that I knew about from the opening. Okay, so that guy's removed. Cannot attack with this Bowmaster anymore. I'll just play out the island. I don't really see a good reason not to. When my opponent attacks, I will chump block and then Fatal Push because it's my best chance at winning. Okay, so I'm losing this land, but this actually does turn on Revolt, so I'm still okay-ish. So yeah, let's lose the land. And then I'll Fatal Push to draw the card. Okay, so if I draw what? I draw a black source, I'm happy, I suppose. Happy is relative. I guess I could have waited to see what my opponent was going to get with the Myco spawn before I Fatal Pushed. Now they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 1 mana away from being able to activate Eye of Ugin to search. I will take this 6 damage lump, however. I can always bring it back next turn. 4 mana? I just Chalice on 1, not 4 mana. 2 mana. Fortunately, that was not a black source, so opponent is getting game 1. And that was a 1-drop. Okay, so sideboarding against Eldrazi, I'm going to want the Consigned Memories. I'm going to want the Harbingers. I don't really want all the forces because of all the caverny stuff. Bowmasters are quite bad, as you saw in that game. And that, I think, puts us to a clean 60. Wildred's Edicts are maybe okay over something. The other 2 forces. Let's try that. I hate how iffy Force of Will is in the matchup because the stuff that really hurts you are the cast triggers, first of all, and secondly, like Cavern of Souls and stuff. But then Chalice, of course, is relevant for Force of Will, so can't really win, can you? This hand seems good. I'm going to go turn 1, Changeling Outcast. Just like I let off for the first game. One's got a Devourer of Destiny as well, so looking good for them. They put 3 cards in exile, an Eye of Ugin, a Devourer, and a Cavern. So what do they got? Turn 1 play. One, two, three. Oh yeah, turn 1 play. Kozilek's command kill the... That makes sense, okay. So I was going to go Baleful Strix, but now I kind of want to do Tamiyo Brainstorm. Because getting this thing plussing ASAP and hiding Murderous Cut both seem like great things to do. So I no longer want to hide Murderous Cut. I want to hide, I guess, Baleful Strix and Yuriko. Cool. Okay, then I'll +2 and pass the turn. Obviously I'm hiding the unique effects, which, given this hand, removal spells are not the unique effect. So 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana, Thought-Knot Seer. Yep, can't counter it. Oh no, poor me. Nothing I can do. So sad. So at this point, they took a Fatal Push. So I could -3 and Brainstorm again and hope to hit like a fetch land so I can turn on the Fatal Push. Yeah, I think I like that. Or I could just like Strix and draw. That opens me up to getting Wastelanded really badly. Kind of like Brainstorming. I think it's worth it. Okay, so 1, 2. I don't want this Harbinger of the Seas, so let's put Baleful Strix, then we'll put Harbinger on top. Or do I want Harbinger of the Seas? Even if I can't cast my stuff, they can't either? Yeah, I guess that's worth it. So I don't want this Yuriko. I don't want the second Murderous Cut. So I'll put Murderous Cut, or sorry, I'll put Harbinger and then Murderous Cut. Play this, I bin the cut. And now I am able to pass the turn. If they wasteland me or anything like that before combat, I killed the Thought-Knot Seer. Though now, again, since this Tamiyo has been removed, this Thought-Knot Seer will draw me a card. And so it did. And you know what? I'm going to play the Harbinger. Here's hoping that's sufficient. They have green, but they don't have anything else. Oh no, they do have a wastes. Okay, well. Let's have Consigned to Memory. I do have 2 basic swamps in the deck, a lot of cantrips to find them. So now I'm clocking away. And so the interaction between Chalice of the Void and Consigned to Memory is you can replicate, and the replicates get through because they're not cast, they're just put on the stack. So for this, I can go 1, 2, 3, and cast with Replicate 1. I will choose the original. I'll replicate twice. So yeah, this one gets countered. Then this one is same targets, and then this one moves to the second trigger. So this is a full countering of that Mecha Spawn. It's quite nice. Okay, so if they remove the Harbinger, I at least have my hand unlocked. Otherwise, looks like they just don't have too much going on either. Okay, Ponder. Oh, yeah, Ponder's locked out for a different reason. Anyway, yeah, no pondering. That was a little bit silly. But we're clocking away at this Harbinger. And now we have a Tamiyo too, so she's gonna... No. Fool me once, Chalice of the Void, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So yeah, I'm not gonna cast this Tamiyo into the Chalice. Because I learned from my mistakes. This is getting dismembered. Totally fine with that. So now at least I have my mana back online. See what the opponent does. Big Kozilek's or Big Devour, that doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just going to do a minimum pitch because I don't want to waste graveyard resources for no reason. Sink into Stupor, we'll be able to bounce that Chalice at some point. That point could be this turn if I just like pass and then do that, but I think I'd rather have Baleful Strix and play first. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that extra land there. So yeah, not playing extra things into Chalice. One's playing Thought-Knots here. No, another Devourer, probably. Yeah. My destiny has been devoured. Yum. Okay. Infiltrator, I could just cast it for 4 here. Could and will, I think. Yeah, because then if they just hold back, I'm like okay with that. Because getting a critical mass of ninjas in there is kind of an easy way to win. Okay, they're coming in, no fear. Means they have an answer for this or another blocker or something. Is this a Echo Spawn? It is. Okay, so it's the full value Echo Spawn. 1 land exiled, and then another land eventually exiled too. No, I have Ugin time. That makes more sense. Okay, so now I think I still sink into super here and hope to draw a land. No, that doesn't work. Oh, I drew a Baleful Strix. That's quite good. That's what I will do is I'll play a Baleful Strix and found another land. So I can't attack right now because Chalice prevents this Fatal Push from working. But next turn, hopefully I'll be able to do some sort of shenanigans in that direction. One's pretty close as a 1, 2, 3, 4. I was going to say pretty close to doing an Eye of Ugin activation, but they're just playing a Thought-Knot Seer. My hand looks pretty good. Wonder what they're going to take. Yuriko. I guess they have to. So they can still Eye of Ugin. Okay. So I can fetch here. And then sink into Stupor. The Chalice of the Void. And since I fetched on this turn, I'll be able to Fatal Push the Thought-Knot Seer. And then if I draw another land, I'll be able to cast a 1-drop, another 1-drop, and I'll be in serious business. Which I did. And then I can make that one Changeling Outcast because it just guarantees that it connects. That's pretty good. That opponent can I have Ugin in the end step. I expect them to. And then maybe they'll get another Devourer of Destiny, like as a at the floor. So that would exile my Baleful Strix, probably. And they would attack for 9. And then I would have to basically take it. Oh, they're getting a Null Drifter. They just want to get ahead in the air, maybe, or just like start annihilating me. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's their prerogative. Draw 2. They just want value. They like value. Hard to disagree. I also like value. Like all these ninjas. Draw a bunch of cards. So they have a Chalice and 3 unknowns in hand. The unknown for turn, and then 2 unknowns off the Null Drifter. Okay, Baleful Strix is getting killed by a Kozilek's command. And they bottomed 2 cards off of the command. Chaos Cradle makes 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So they can't quite Ivugan yet. But they're chalicing. Yep. Opponent will attack me for 9, put me to 2. And I basically can't block because I have to just hope that the Changeling Outcast can get there. Yeah, so let's attack. Draw a card. Huh. That's a card. Does it do anything right now? Okay, so I can't ninjutsu it in anymore. It could tap this so that I don't die in the air. And I could hold this up and like pretend I have an answer to something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Kaito. So I tap the Null Drifter. And then I do die to being attacked by both these creatures. They don't know that. So I'm hoping that they just don't do that to me. But I think that's better than like a Surveil 2. Like I'm holding up something here. They don't know what. I am holding back this blocker as well. So the opponent is attacking me with both, and so I do die, unfortunately. Ouch. Okay, well, opponent appears to have got the match. I'll see you all for round 4. Yeah, back for round 4. We're on the play against someone who typically plays or has been playing mono red as of late. So given that, I think it's going to be prudent for me to lead on Pluto Delta and Ponder and be looking to set up some sort of ninja thing because I've got Baleful Strix and Bowmasters, so I won't be particularly worried about a Chalice. Just need to be able to get this ninja train rolling. All right, so Island and Ponder. Opponent also kept 7. So we don't know for sure that they're on mono red, but it is likely. And given that this is solid, I like all these cards. 1, 2, 3, no shuffle. And then I can do a turn 2 Strix, turn 3 Kaito, or turn 2 Bowmaster, so I have like Strix for pitching. And turn 3 Kaito, Chrome Mox to me with my opponent's history does scream mono red. Fury solidifies it. Fury really good against this, so something for me to be aware of. Chalice, I do not care. Fable, I also do not care. So with regard to this Fable, what I'm going to do here is on my opponent's main phase, I'm going to flash in the Bowmaster and deal 1 to the Shaman. That way if they want to discard any cards, this Goblin Shaman dies. So yeah, I'll play a basic Swamp and pass it. Actually, maybe I'll play Underground Sea and pass the turn. So my opponent thinks that Blood Moon is a thing worth doing. And then I can just follow it up with a pair of Swamps. Okay, so yeah, I'll play Underground Sea, and then on my opponent's main phase, with the discard trigger on the stack, I'll flash in a Bowmaster. do have to put it on the stack, and then I can Bowmaster. Okay, it is on the stack, and now Bowmaster. And we will deal 1 to the Shaman. Means they're not able to loot anymore without losing this guy. Of course, I'm happy to oblige if that's the case. Yeah, so no looting. They can't really attack either. Or I guess they can. They get a 3rd mana source that way, but I will block with the army. Cleared the token. And then we'll see what they cast. Smashing decisions. One ring? Feels like a 1 ring. Okay, yeah, it is a 1 ring, but I don't want them to have it. So I will force it, pitching a Strix. Even though I have the Bowmaster, it's still worth getting rid of this thing. And then I can put Kaito in play, returning the Bowmaster. And then I could probably surveil to draw a card. Yeah, or like 0 to draw a card, I mean, surveil 2 plus draw. Yeah, it seems like an easy and good plan here. So Kaito, Ninja's in, deals 3 damage. I will 0 it. Outcast and Force of Will. I think I do not want the Force at this point. Drawing Yuriko was fine, I suppose. I was trying to figure out if my next card was also a blue card, if I'd be happy to pitch it. And I thought I'd be happier to use it. Caves of Chaos Adventure. Kind of inclined to agree here. So what I could do here is I can Kaito to tap the Caves of Chaos Adventure, and then I can play both Bowmasters to kill the Reflection. Then I can attack with Kaito to take the initiative. So that's my plan at this point. It's a good plan, if I do say so myself. And because this Caves of Chaos Adventures will be tapped, it'll be even harder for them to take the initiative back. So mountain to hand, mountain to play. Very good. Okay, so first things first, I guess I'll double Bowmaster the Reflection. And then -2 to tap the Caves of Chaos Adventure. Attack with Kaito. Take the initiative. Get an island, and then can't play it because I played land this turn already. I played the swamp. And now I should be in pretty convincing control of this game. Especially since I have a Yuriko that I can ninjutsu in at any point. 3 mana, 4 mana, 1 ring. Okay, so if they draw, which they're planning to do, I cannot deal damage to them. Oftentimes in this case, I deal it to an Orc army because the Orc army takes damage and grows at the same rate. But since my opponent is already already has a creature in play that I can target, I may as well just target it. My triggers are being acknowledged. And Ancient Tomb has been played. Okay. So now I will go into the Forge, I believe. Forgy. And I'll forge up the Kaito? Nah. Forge up One of the Bowmasters. Okay, so now I can emblem my Kaito. So basically I can, even though I can't like deal with damage to my opponent, I can still like Yuriko and stuff, which probably becomes worthwhile. So yeah, let's I guess I'll plus my Kaito, for lack of a better thing to do with him. And then I'll attack with the Bowmaster. And not the Kaito. And then I'll ninjutsu in the Yuriko. This gets me an extra ETB with this Bowmaster. And now if they tap it, I will be able to deal 7 damage to them. Or no. Sorry, not 7. 4 plus the 1, so 5 damage. So take 1 off this. Draw for turn. Next turn, the Caves of Chaos Adventure will untap. Also worth noting that between Trap and my 2 Bowmasters, I do have my opponent dead. So if they don't take the initiative this turn, I believe I have the win just off of that. Yeah, opponent's doing the Desperation tap. Play along. We'll let them take 5 damage, which means they cannot tap Ancient Tomb anymore. And that's, yeah, sufficient. Okay. Time for game 2. Hydroblast will solve all my problems. Consign for like the 1 rings and stuff like that. Null Rod also is, I think, even better than Consign in that regard. Cards I don't really need or want that badly. Pondered are so-so. Bowmasters are actually kind of fine against this version of the deck. I think I don't really want the Changeling Outcasts. They are a little bit low impact. And like feed it to a Chalice or whatever. Maybe I keep 1 of those. Cut these guys, bring these in. Yeah, that seems fine. I'm thinking about like Long Goodbye for like Fable and stuff, but I think this is better. All right, no lands. No lands. We're both going to 5 at least. Lots of lands. So I'll put away probably my 2, an island and a swamp. Or island and a... Yeah, I'll put away island and swamp so that I can do the brainstorm fetch. And if I, you know, get Blood Moon, I can still island and Vista to Brazen Borrower it. So all in all, that seems fine. Pyroblast. Chalice. 3. Blood Moon? Blood Moon, okay. Again, not too worried. I do have a plan. Might have been easier if I didn't put the swamp on the bottom, but even still, I can get rid of the Blood Moon pretty easily with this Brazen Borrower. And yeah, I'll play out the Vista. I'll attack with Tamiyo. Why not? Then I'll pass to my opponent's turn. On their end step, I will bounce the Blood Moon. Blood Moon's back to hand. Fatal Push has been secured as well. All right, let's attack. And my opponent obviously tries to remove Tamiyo. I will brainstorm in response. They might also concede. They have 2 cards in hand, one of which is a Blood Moon. The benefit of us both going to 5 is stuff like this Chrome Mox becomes way more impactful for them. So, yep, we attack with Tamiyo. I will brainstorm. Very nice. Okay, so I'll put Marsh Flats and Fatal Push on top. Flip Tamiyo. I will plus Tamiyo. Now I have Island Swamp at the ready. I have clue tokens I'm able to crack as well. This is something like Fury. I can consign the trigger, and that still saves a Hydroblast. I like that plan, so I'll do this. I will consign the trigger of the Fury to memory. So yeah, I need blue for that. Make sure I'm consigning the damage trigger, not the evoke trigger. And I do still have a Hydroblast. Okay, so I obviously walked into this a little bit, but mistakes were made. I'm drawing a card quick with the ring. I guess I will do an Undercity Sewers and Surveil so I can try to find a Null Rod or something. Yeah, kind of a panic mode here, but that's okay. That's -3 Brainstorm. Cast it. Oops, and missed. That's terrible. We hate to see that. That was literally as bad as this could be. Well, it does kind of look like I might have a Bowmaster, so maybe they'll be careful. Nope. Care is for the weak. Hieroglyph, I do want to to blast because it will kill the Tamiyo. And then I will plus Tamiyo. And then at the very least, I will be able to instep Brazen Borrower. And then Ninjutsu off the Borrower. Yeah, things are not looking good for me here. Using the Consign instead of the Hydroblast, or they're bit me big time. Speaking of things biting me big time, this Pyroglyph is going to deal a lot of damage to this poor little Tamiyo. Nothing I can do to shrink a graveyard, so she's gone. That's rough. Fable is in as well. So yeah, end step, I'll flash into Brazen Borrower. Okay, so I think I'm gonna crack a clue token. If I draw black land, I could kill basically the world here. I could blow up the Pyroglyph and the Goblin Shaman. As it stands, I don't get to do all of the good stuff, so I'll just pass the turn. I'm gonna obviously be, I can Murderous Cut the Pyroglyph, or I could Fatal Push the Goblin Shaman. My opponent does have to kill me or get rid of the One Ring this turn, or get rid of the Brazen Borrower. They're at not too much life. So maybe another reason to hold on. Yeah, this is why to hold on to the removal spell. Now in start combat, I can kill the broadside bombardiers. So check this out. So now I kill the bombardier. 1, 2. See, what do I have that they don't have? They have sorcery, creature, land. So if I get rid of my instants, instant, and creature, then maybe I'll be able to. No, I guess this is an instant. So shrinking Pyroglyph does not end up working, but that's okay. It is still. It is what it is, you know. So they take, or I take a bunch of damage here. I take 6. But they do die to the ring. Unless they're able to kill the borrower. Nope, they have a fresh ring. That also works. Okay, so now they're trying to figure out whether or not to crack it, or to tap it, I should say. They do. And ooh, speaking of things to tap, that's great. I think I just hold back now. I had no reason to attack with the borrower. This doesn't take damage. I can Fatal Push to turn a Revolt to kill this Pyroglyph. Or really anything that my opponent can do to get rid of the borrower. Bombardiers if it's attacking. Yeah, so I'll wait for start combat. Now I'll Fatal Push both the Bombardiers and the Pyroglyph, I think. Definitely the Bombardiers. I guess I'll let them determine how they are attacking first before I kill the Pyroglyph. Or, no, I guess I kill... Because the Pyroglyph isn't lethal, I kill the Shaman so it can't make extra mana. Because that's their choke here. So yeah, take that damage, take 5, go to 6, it's fine. But now they can't, you know, play like another ring. I was really behind for a lot of this game. I still might lose. Let's see if I find a force. Sink into stupor, huh? Okay, well that obviously not ideal, but maybe okay. Okay. Now my plan is to basically have to bounce this Pyroglyph as the reflection is made of it. Yep, that's still my plan. Or if they just attack with both, I bounce it. Okay, so if they copy it, I bounce it, they lose. They just attack with both, I bounce it. So they're doing it like this, which is fine for me because I'll take 5 from it. So I bounce it. They activate the reflection to copy. I go to 1. Yeah, so now I go to 1 life. And then they can't tap the tombs. Wait, what happened? Oh, each one of them deals the damage. I just forgot how Pyroglyph works. Yeah, the second copy just deals double damage, so That was not the way to go. Whoops. I think given the way that game went and the Furies, I am more inclined to not have any changeling outcasts in my deck. So I'll run it back like this for game 3. All right, game 3, hand looks totally solid. I'm able to get a ponder, sorry, not a ponder, a surveil land in if I want to on my first turn, or I can fetch an island, and then I can turn to Null Rod so the One Ring does not destroy me like it has been. And then I have a Fatal Push, thinking Stupor for stuff. Yeah, this hand is good. Opponent going to 6 cards. I'm a big fan of that. They're staying on 6, so I will go Polluted Delta, pass. And then on the end step, if they don't give me a need to fetch basic island, I'll get a Surveil land. Vexing Bauble is not a need for a basic island. So I'll get a Surveil with this. And then I will do my next land as a basic island. Brainstorm is good. So let's play out the Null Rod ahead of time, just so they don't even, no one gets to recoup a card off of it or anything like that. And also it's a good use of my mana. Next turn I can Brainstorm, etc. Blood Moon, I do not care. I guess I care a little bit, but not too much. Alright, Strix coming in. Drew another Brainstorm. And then see what my opponent does. They're playing their lands off the right on curve. Spirit Guide, so they're not crushing it. Ninja would be a fantastic draw. I'll Brainstorm first. Found a Bowmaster and a Consigned to Memory, both of which are solid draws. I'll put this and I'll put Brainstorm on top. Let's yeah, let's, or sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Let's put Fatal Push on top. Play the land, I'll attack with the Strix. And then on my turn, my opponent's turn, I'll be able to deal 1 damage to the Spirit Guide as it attacks, and I'll be able to block with the army. I'll be able to hold up Consigned to Memory as well. So that will be quite good for me. And I'll still have Murderous Cut for whatever scary thing comes up. So yeah, let's see the Spirit Guide come in, just as we expected. We can keep holding up blue, so we deal 1 damage to that. We block. And opponent's down a card. Attack. I guess I'll Brainstorm first, because if I draw a Ninja, I really want to use it. Drew a second Bowmaster into Daze, both of which are solid. I guess I can put back the Sink into Stupor. Yeah. I just don't really need to draw all the lands right now. I'm limited by the number of spells I can cast off of colors. So these guys can just come in. And then if nothing else, I can orc the opponent on end step just to increase the clock. Put a mountain. So Consigned to Memory is probably being pointed at a Fury now. Although this Daze is also being pointed at a Fury. No, not going to fall for that trick. My opponent has a Vexing Bauble in play, and I need my days to resolve. There we go. Almost tricked myself. But I didn't. Very proud of myself for that. Okay, so now, same plan, another end step. I also now have access to Sink into Stupor, given my double island. So Bombardiers is fine, I think. Yeah. Because, yeah, they attack. Then I'll do the Bowmaster thing. I should not tap blue for that. And so, yeah, Bowmaster comes in. I need to decide if I'm going to consign the trigger here. I don't think I will. I'll deal one to the opponent, because if they shoot either token, I wouldn't be able to block anyway. Yeah, I'm not too worried about this. This is fine. I take 2. Ouch. I'm much more concerned about a Fury or something ruining my day. So attack for 3. And then see what my opponent has to offer. Both of their hands full of One Rings. Okay, so it's got a Chrome Mox that they're at least in part intending to throw at my team. A Bauble that they could also throw at my team. Start combat. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just really keep the graveyard open or full. Keep it stocked up. Tamiyo I can play, there's no Chalice. So I'll do that on second main. Be attacking for 3 here. Big beats. So I won't be able to crack the clues, obviously, because of Null Rod, but that's worth it. Means if something happens to Null Rod, I will have a bunch of clues banked up. This cannot bounce my own stuff, so Null Rod would have to stay in play regardless. Could really use a ninja this game, but the MH and honorary MH cards are supplemental product creatures are doing their work. Second main, Tamiyo coming in. Fire Blasted? That's actually a trade I'm happy to make. That does look like a Pyroblast though, so I will overpay a consigned in memory if I need to consign something, just to make sure that I can't get it Pyroblasted. Yeah, this, what else would they be thinking about on my end step right now? They can't crack this, so it's got to be a Pyroblast. Opted not to use it. So going into their turn with 2 cards in hand. What do they do? Red mana. Pyroblast the Strix. That makes more sense, as this Tamiyo cannot do much on her own right now. She is just an inquisitive student who won't even be able to read her books because there's a rod in play, preventing her from doing things. A no reading rod that says Vexing Bauble, no, and no Chrome Moxes, and that's what it says. Okay, after some thinking, they've just passed to combat. So I suppose that means that I'll be taking a turn. Yeah. And then whatever they do. Okay, now I have a Yuriko. That's really nice. I'm going to attack with the gang. And then I can return the Tamiyo. And then they Pyroblast it. Okay, they do. Then that is life. There's nothing I can do about that. I think I hold up my consign to memory as well. And there's no reason to like rush this Tamiyo into play. I don't want to be tapped down from consign to memory for no reason. They're going to attack me. And then probably throw something at one of my friends. Yeah, that's okay. I think, yeah. Activated ability anyway. Can't counter it with consign. Ooh, Kaito, huh? Okay, so I will attack with the army. And then I will ninjutsu a Kaito in. And then I will -2. And I suppose at this point I'll play the Tamiyo. Just to get two things that Pyroblast has to get pointed at. Or if I draw another ninja. Yeah, so they're killing the swamp. I will get my second swamp, put it into play. Creatures can't block this turn. Acknowledged. I have a lethal attacker, by the way, in this Kaito, Bane of Nightmares, so that's what I'll be doing. And then I found a Force of Will just to really lock it up. Cool, so got the match, and I'll see you all for round 5. Okay, we're here for round 5 against Trocht. They're a control player. Last time I played them, they were on Yorion Vial. They often play like Green Sun Yorion piles as well. Just grindy stuff. Thoughtseize targeting me, okay. Probably the Outcast. Not gonna force it though. Seems silly. Outcast confirmed. Okay, so I draw Fatal Push. I think I still play the island out so that I don't get wasted before I can get my second mana source into play. Granted, as it stands, my curve for threats starts at 3. It's Cabal Therapy. Basically, it can take anything except Force of Will. Like, it can take Force of Will by naming force, or it can take anything else. And so given that, forcing it is making my opponent's choice for them. Okay, so I do need a third land or some action. White-black. So my opponent's just on Yorion white-black value stuff. Solitude in the Yard. third land. Baleful Strix right on time. Just kidding. Where were you last game? Okay, Bowmaster is nasty. But if I draw a land, then no harm, no foul, I did great. So I think in my opponent's upkeep, I will do this, and if they ephemerate, then they just don't already have something good. Okay, so Bowmaster goes. Good. And they attack for 2. I will play a Yuriko at minimum next turn. Probably like Felia in this deck as well. So they're sacking the army. Maybe getting the Yuriko? Yeah. Makes sense. Now if I draw a land, I'll play Kaito. Like, plus, I guess? Did not draw a land. Cannot Kaito. Opponent has Felia in their deck, confirmed. So, not much I can do about this. Gross. Okay, so I am getting valued here. Very cool. And it enters as a creature in zone rate as well. Nasty. Very nasty. Okay. Solitude, yep. Let's brainstorm. Maybe I have a chance. It's not looking good. Okay, so I guess I'll put away the Infiltrator and put away the Daze. And then I'm going to Ponder. Outcast is not going to do it. Trying to find a Fatal Push or something. Found a Fatal Push or something. Is it enough? Remains to be seen. Well, we'll see. Okay, so opponent gets to recur another creature now with this Overlord of the Baelmerk. Impending. My impending doom. Emperor Bones. I'm learning a lot about this deck, which is also convenient. It's just a white-black Vial mid-range deck. Returns Felia. That's enough for me to concede. Okay, so that was nasty. I want some Thought Seizes. Those are some good triggered abilities as well, huh? So signs seem good. Edict's probably fine. This one like really just interacts with Vial. The consigns for Vial plus the triggered ability seems worth it. I think I can cut a Brazen Borrower because of all their ETBs being so good. And then I can cut the Forces. I don't think I want them. I can also cut the Thoughtseizes, and you're only 2 consigned to memories. Let's try that. I'll have some forces in on the draw, probably over the dazes and consigns. Okay, on the play. This hand is a little greedy. But maybe it's all right. I think I don't go for a turn 1 anything. I think I just go for a turn 1 end step surveil land and try to just set up for consistent mana. So let's see what opponent Thoughtseizes out of my hand first. Two pairs, also kind of annoying against Cabal Therapy for what it's worth. Okay, so Fatal Push has been taken, which also kind of implies that they have Cabal Therapy in there somewhere. Found the island, which we'd love to see. So let's play one of my Tamiyos. And then, you know, might die. Okay, losing my Yurikos now to this Cabal Therapy. Unfortunate. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. If Tamiyo gets removed, then at least I have a backup. Surveil 1. Opponent is surveilling 1. White Orchid Phantom into the yard. Okay, third land, and this Tamiyo will be, or this Kaito will be in. Let's crack this, try to hit a land. Missed, found another Tamiyo. Can go in my Tamiyo pile. Pile O Tamiyo. It's really unfortunate that Tamiyo is my known card in hand for this Cabal Therapy, and I drew a second one because if Tamiyo gets named, I lose out on this draw step essentially. Another Cabal Therapy, fresh from hand, so probably going to name Tamiyo. Maybe we'll name Shoulder's Edict. Okay, took the Edict. Getting rid of removal. And then going to throw a land into play and then a creature. And then probably Cabal Therapy the Kaito. So I will say yes. I'll put a swamp into play. Yeah, now Kaito gets hit, which is unfortunate. But at least I'm able to draw with clues. And we'll keep doing that. Okay, long goodbye. And yeah, I mean, I am behind, but I'm slowly recouping cards with this Tamiyo. A wasteland, unfortunately, this is a flooded strand, which has not yet become a basic island. You can play through this wasteland. Emperor Bones, Bone Man. Wonder what that will become. They're gonna hit me with like one of my Yurikos. Yeah. Very cool. Oh, they missed, or they didn't do it in time. So I will say goodbye and a long way to this Emperor Bones. I will attack with Tamiyo. I'll play this paying 3 life because that will allow me to crack this clue to draw a card. And hopefully my opponent doesn't have anything too good to flicker with this Vial, although I'm sure they do. I am more than sure that they do. The whole deck is full of good things to flicker with this Vial. Opponent's in the tank too, which means they have options. Okay, Vial coming in. Okay, so they're forcing me to crack the clue, which means that I am gonna do it, even if it walks into a Bowmaster. It didn't. I guess it's just technically the best choice. It limits my options this game, or this turn. We have Vial, so they're kind of out of gas, huh? Yorion to hand, yeah, they're out of gas. So let's ponder first. Brainstorm and Fatal Push, love it. So we can ponder and Fatal Push and then brainstorm later. So let's attack first so that I get the clue, no reason not to. We ponder for a third draw. We go 1, 2, 3, no shuffle. Flip Tamiyo plus Tamiyo. Get rid of Vial. And play one of my Tamiyos from hand because of the Cabal Therapy in the yard. So that seems like the safest way to do it. Another Vial. So I could use this. That's actually what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'll -3 this Tamiyo to get back a Sheoldred's Edict. Then I'll attack with this one. Brainstorm. This will flip this Tamiyo. Put back Tamiyo and Sheoldred's Edict. Flip, keep this one. Plus, play another Tamiyo. And we have completed the cycle. Okay. Now I think I'll start ticking up with this Tamiyo. So let's draw a card with the clue. Plus with this one as well. Attack here, no reason really not to. And then I'll just hold up mana. Got a pretty good handle on this game as long as I don't throw it. Vial's on 3 and 2. So lots of tricky stuff could come in. Bowmasters, for instance. Let's draw a card. Draw one more. Okay. We'll plus this Tamiyo. I will attack with this Tamiyo. Still not overly concerned about all the things that are transpiring. It's really just the draw half my deck that's gonna win me the game, or not. While still on 3 and 2. And we'll see if my opponent can answer the Tamiyo Ultimate. Draw a card here. If I can get some sort of fighting on the end step, this is really good because I have so much mana I can use, or so many spells I can use that getting conflict in earlier was actually probably pretty good. Doesn't look like that's the case, so let's play this so I can get a fetch if I need to for revolting. And then I'll just -7 the Tamiyo. And we'll see what that does. Okay, so I don't care about the Solitude. Letting that happen. Okay, are they flickering it? It looks like they are. I think I do care about that. Yeah, I will Bowmaster. No, I guess I'll just Murderous Cut the Solitude. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then I draw a bunch of cards. I'm actually going to fetch a Underground Sea now, just so that I don't get got. So there's the Bowmaster, kind of as expected. Okay, so then I will play this Bowmaster, kill my opponent's Bowmaster. Now I draw a bunch of cards. That's great. Let's do another Bowmaster, I think. Yeah, and I can kill the Flicker Wisp. Then let's play the Tamiyo out for good measure. Okay. So now we have 19 cards in hand, 15 cards in library. An opponent is ready to battle. Let's see if they can keep up with that. Cabal Therapy for me for info is probably their plan. They're learn a lot about my deck by Cabal Therapying me right now. Yep. That's a good play. That's thinking about game 3. Respect. What do they name? Ingenious Infiltrator. Okay. I've been infiltrated. Now out of ninjas in my hand. Ninjaless, as they say. No, I guess I have these changelings. That's not what we're talking about. Okay, I guess I'll kick it off with the brainstorm. Flips the Tamiyo. I'll put away land, so I have vegetables in my deck. And now I can just like start recurring graveyard stuff. So I have another Ingenious Infiltrator, I have another Kaito in my deck. Okay. I'm going to use Bowmasters to help close out the game. What do they got? 3 mana. Flicker Wisp. Yeah. Bowmaster. One takes 2. Outcast. Outcast. And a Strix for good measure. Drew another Outcast. Okay, great. So, got a nice wide board that eats it to like a Toxic Deluge for X = 1 or anything like that. So we'll see if that's in our future. It's not. Our match is tied up 1-1. Okay, so on the draw, do you think I do it? I do think I want the pile of forces. Especially since they just therapied me and saw 0 forces. This is good to do as a deception move. So yeah, that's the plan. Bill ends. Got them all. Opponents keeping 7. I'm keeping 6. And I'll get rid of one of my 2 Kaitos so that I don't get Cabal Therapy too brutally. I'll draw another like fetch land. I think that'd be nice. Vial is fine, albeit slightly annoying. Okay, that's just as good because now I can get this Bowmaster in to pump up the Outcast, and then I can return. No, now I can't unless they take the. They can either take Kaito and prevent this whole ninja thing from happening, or they can take Bowmaster and prevent me from growing Changeling Outcasts. It just depends upon what they prefer. I took Kaito, okay. And they're surveilling and kept the card because they like what they see. Okay, so I will get a basic island now. Master. And attack for 2 with Changeling Outcast. So it's kind of cute, but it just keeps the Outcast alive through a Bowmaster or whatever. Yeah, I'm sticking up Vial to 2. And doing more setting up of their library. They kept another card on top. Again, does not bode well for me. Let's attack with the Outcast. I'm not going to throw this Bowmaster into like Ophelia or something. Play the other Outcast. Play this Flooded Strand so I can do some surveilling action. And we'll see what my opponent comes up with. Okay, nothing on 2. Interesting. Okay. Emperor of Bones. Well, fortunately, this is not a creature, it's a planeswalker. So that cannot get Kaito'd into play. Or cannot get Emperor'd into play, I should say. Let's surveil. Don't want force. Didn't really want that either. Okay, so attack for 3. Because again, they're not blocking. They're literally not allowed to block. They can't block. Even if they wanted to. They're just attacking guys. So yeah, I need to draw something. I'm floating out here in the 17 land deck. Kind of embarrassing. 3 mana. Yorion to hand. Okay, that's good for me, I guess. They're gonna attack me? Not attacking? Okay. The longest of goodbyes. That's pretty nice. So let's attack with just these again. I think I want to save this long goodbye for something more annoying. This Emperor Bones is not actually doing too much to me. Like, let's see what's coming in now on this 3. Flicker Wisp, that's going to be annoying. Okay. Yep. So now I will just, before any shenanigans can happen, I'm just going to say goodbye to this Flicker Wisp. Goodbye, Flicker Wisp. And then I'll get my Changeling back. I need to draw something good. A ninja would be great. I would love to draw one of my blue-black ninjas. One has 6 mana in play, so they can Yorion to their heart's content. And also activate Emperor Bones as an instant speed Flicker Wisp now. That's something I should have been aware of. More careful about, I should say. Baleful Strix, that's a nice one. Let's see what we find. Hey, that's really nice too. Okay. So I'll attack with these. And let's see if we connect. Probably don't. Like it's plowed. Okay. Dealt 1 damage now. Which is kind of rough, but you know, we do what we can. Play an Outcast. Since I'm using all my mana, I think I'm just going to play out the Blooded Strand as well. This deck can have some very mana intensive turns. Vial up to 5, so now Yorion's coming in at instant speed. Nice and scary. 1 mana. 2 mana. Okay, so they're blowing up my stuff and I'm getting basics. Okay, fine. I do have yet another basic too, so that's pretty cool. Thinning out my deck. Very kind of my opponent. So now Emperor Bones is taking long goodbye. And at the very least, I'm attacking for 2 here. Unblockable little creatures. Force of Will is not a bad draw. Means I can counter anything that's not the Vial, Yorion thing, or any of the activated abilities. I'll counter this. Counter this plow. Okay. Vial stays on 5. Okay. Third Source of Plowshares has the building. And Changeling Outcast is down to 1. Or just 1 Changeling Outcast, I should say. Okay, so what next? That's convenient. I have to be patient with it because this can activate and do the Lurker Wisp at any time, so I should just be really, really patient with this Fatal Push. Assuming I'm patient, it should pay off. Okay, something gets eaten. My Undercity Sewers gets eaten. Yum. They're kind of just in a staring contest as I attack for 1, which I will continue to do. Play a Tamiyo now. And opponent's keeping the Yorion in hand. Do have this Fatal Push still. Okay, Yuriko. I guess I do this because I, at the very least, want to be able to crack a clue token. So now they adapt. So if they don't get the counters, so if they don't, let me think about this. I guess they could adapt again. So yeah, this is fine. So now they have to point Flicker Wisp correctly. Pointing it there. But yeah, that is annoying. I will crack a clue token. Draw land. Perfect. Just kidding about the perfect part. Not actually perfect. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'd rather hold this Fatal Push for preventing my opponent from doing relevant stuff. I will play this Yuriko, though. Yeah. And then Yorion's really going to come in on the end step and flicker everything, and I'm going to have to Fatal Push the Flicker Wisp so that it doesn't get to like reset everything. Kind of annoying. So, end step, or main phase, huh? Okay. The Yorion comes in. I need to respond to this trigger. I need to hit the Flicker Wisp. And now my opponent can do whatever they want. Yep, those cards come out and they come back. And then I lose a land, but then I get to get the island. And this last one can get an underground sea when I need it to. And my changeling comes back. Very nice. Okay. Vial stays on 5, of course. Yep. That does not concern me. Tamiyo's coming in. So they're just getting a card out of this deal, basically. And my Changeling Outcast will get pumped. Two mana, draw a card, okay. Yeah, point that at my opponent. Pumps the Outcast. And then I can block, which is, I guess, not actually something I want to do, because if they draw more cards, I get the Tamiyo. So I'll just let it go through. Because basically, if Tamiyo flips, it enters under my control. So there's really no upside to me killing it. It has a Solitude or something. This guy. Mill 4 cards, return a thing. Containment Priest, huh? Okay. I don't think that's going to do it. Yeah, I was also very land heavy this game. But that's the way these things go. Yeah. My opponent's just doing a little bit of after the match chat. I'm happy to catch up, answer their questions, since they're kind and just want to figure out the matchup better. And honestly, they're so dinky that it's like hard to waste a plow. Yeah, we just decided that maybe picking off one of the outcasts earlier was the move. But either way, yeah, we got the match. I'll see you over on 6. Okay, we're back for round 6. We're against Demonic Tutors, and got a solid hand for fair decks, so hopefully that's what they're playing. With a name like Demonic Tutors, hard to say, hard to be too optimistic. And rightfully so, as you can see, they've already Vexing Bobbled. I will play out Tamiyo, because if I Echo of Eons or whatever, I'd be happy to flip Tamiyo. And then we'll just have to see if I'm able to get this Bowmaster in. When Ponder shuffled instantly. Duress is going to miss, or take Fatal Push, but like essentially miss. That's kind of funny. Drew a Force. That's pretty cool. So with this Bobble in play, I can't use it, but if my top card is blue with this clue token, I can like draw into the... No, I can't. No, I cannot, because I need to use 2 mana to bounce the Vexing Bobble, so it's not that cool. I'll do it though. I'll crack the clue to draw a card because now on this end step, okay, they're cracking. They're trying to play around Bowmaster. So I've now drawn a Brainstorm, which will flip the Tamiyo. Love to see it. And puts away, ooh, wow. I guess a Fatal Push and Fetchland. And then we plus the Tamiyo. Then we just pass. I could flash in the Bowmaster right here. I think I'll do it after they finish deciding how to surveil. And now I'm going to flash in the Bowmaster so they can't cantrip more. Or if they do, it hurts. Okay. So now my opponent needs to figure out how to get through this. And they're finding a way, they're Dark Ritualing. Ponder, yep. I will point 1 damage at my opponent. Ponder shuffled. Another Dark Rit. Land from hand, ad nauseum. I'll force that pitching Brazen Borrower. And if they have another spell, they don't. Okay, I would have forced again, but now I don't have to. And up a game. Okay, so Null Rod's going to be great. Thoughtseize is going to be great. The Consigns are going to be great. Saw a lot of red cards. Maybe the Hydroblast, or red lands. Maybe the Hydroblast has enough targets that's worth it. And cut the Murderous Cuts and the Fatal Pushes pretty freely. And I can even maybe cut 1 basic swamp. Or like Kaito doesn't do too much in this matchup. Seems fine. Let's run that. Ghost Vacuum I don't think is enough. Like the little dinky graveyard. Like it might shrink Cabal Ritual, but that's about it. This hand is fine. It's a little bit weird against like actual like ad nauseum tendrils, which my opponent appears to be playing. I don't love just like mulling to a hand with force because they're so discard heavy. Like that it just, you know, you punish yourself for doing that because you get the forces in hand and then they just discard them. Meanwhile, my forces are tucked safely into my deck where they can't be taken. So I will take a Burning Wish out of my opponent's hand and leave them with a bunch of mana. And Petal is coming out. Ponder. So we'll see what they play. No shuffle, playing the Delta. Okay. Ooh, Brainstorm. So I think I play Tamiyo. Hold up Consign to Memory. And if that doesn't happen, I Brainstorm on the end step. If I don't need to consign. Yeah, let's flip this Tamiyo now. Okay, great. So I don't think I need the Borrower. I can get rid of that with my sewers plus Tamiyo. Ponder. Bowmaster, Yuriko. I think I actually want to shuffle this. I'm looking for like more hard counters and stuff. I tick this Tamiyo up. Thoughtseize, unfortunately, will take whatever it wants. My opponent goes for the kill, then not much I can do about it. Sign has been taken. Looks like a kill might be gone for. So what are they doing? Ad nauseam? Infernal Tutor, okay. They're just going for a loop of sorts. 4 mana. No, they are going for Ad nauseam. Okay, so I will... I think daze that. Or is there a reason not to? I guess no reason to build Stormcount for free. No, but they could play LEDs and stuff. Yeah, I'll daze this. That way they have to you can't go like LED and then cast a spell and pay for LED. They have to put themselves to nothing here. Well, they immediately found a petal, so obviously that did not work out as I intended it to. Infernal Tutor, LED, Dark Root, wow. That's about as good as they can get, huh? Like, they don't need to go deeper, they are for fun. The last petal, another LED. And then I will be Tendrils for lethal. Demonic Tutors is in fact Infernal Tutorsing me. This is why I shuffled that Bowmaster thing. I wanted to find protection. And the dress I'll concede to. Okay. So, boarding up for game 3. I don't really think too much changes. Let's run it back. On the play. And keeps. It does so off of an Island and Tamiyo. And the daze is nice, it'll just slow my opponent's development down. I don't think I want to daze a turn 1 anything. I'm gonna let that one resolve really quickly. I want to be able to get up to 2 mana to start getting these clues going. And if I can pull that off, then I'm in really good shape. And I'll just attack with the Tamiyo to make the clue token. And I'm just going to essentially just try to draw the card. I'm not going to worry about playing Outcasts right now. Ooh. Yeah, that's fine. Stuck on lands and trying to Brainstormer and Bowmaster. Got a discard. Tendrils. Okay. So now I think I will fetch. I should have done the other land, but I'm going to get Surveil land. Crack the clue. I mean, I guess I just hold on, keep the mana open. They found a land. Not too surprising. Okay. Yep. Thought sees me. Deal. At least I have this clue token as well, so I'm able to start recouping losses. And there's the force. Fantastic. Okay, so now I will attack with Tamiyo. And then crack a clue. I guess now Thoughtseize my opponent. Burning Wish, Thoughtseize, and a bunch of rituals. I guess I'm going to take the Burning Wish, because that's the more unique effect. Yeah. Okay. If they Thoughtseize me, they Thoughtseize me. They almost certainly are going to Thoughtseize me, but that's okay. No, no Thoughtseize. Cool. So now I attack. I guess I cracked this now in case I draw a ninja. It did. Holy crap. And if I... So do I want to flip Tamiyo or draw an extra card? I think I want to draw an extra card. That's what I will do. It's a consign, which is great. I'll discard a Tamiyo. Got a couple extras. Cool. So now I'll be able to Thoughtseize the Force of Will. Or sorry, Force of Will the Thoughtseize. I will do. See if consign is able to come up. Be relevant. Burning Wish for Tendrils, because if so, I win. Not, I lose. Peer into the Abyss. I do not think I beat that. Well, now I probably lose. Okay. I am duressed. My consign has gone to memory. Yeah, I assume I'm dead, but I think I fought hard. I think I made the right choices in that game. This did not work out in my favor. Opponent has not sacrificed anything from play yet, so Infiltrator survived. Doesn't matter, but you know. Cracking the LEDs. Get past in flames. Surgical extraction, huh? Makes sense. I can surgically extract force once I use it once. Past in flames. And I'll just play it out so that you can see it happen. Getting tendrils is kind of exciting. Doesn't happen that often these days. There it is. Tendrils for 20. So a total of 40 damage to me. Jeez. Okay, so finished 3-3, which is not incredible. A little disappointing, but you know, we do what we can. Probably gonna fall out of top 16. I'll be somewhere in like the 20s-ish. We'll find out in just a second. But anyway, yeah, the Ninjas deck was a lot of fun. Here we are. A little bit disappointed I didn't get to show off some more ninja-ing, but I guess I would have had a higher record if I did. The ninjas really pop off when you're winning and not so much when you're not. Changing Outcast and Bowmaster was a cute interaction that we were able to play with. All in all, I really see the value engine rolling when it did. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. Hey, so I ended up making top 16 exactly. Very fortunate. Looks like that gets me nets 150 or 100 more play points than I entered with, 10 QPs and 10 treasure chests. So that's really cool. Happy about that. Cool, yeah. You know, still, 3-3 finish is a 3-3 finish, but a 3-3 finish in 16th place is a lot better than a 3-3 finish in 17th. Sorry, Di Manete. Anyway, yeah, so happy to do that. And again, I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.